Korea, multiple city locations. This is Delhi, day, night. A bus. A girl struggling to cross an unlit road. A car suddenly pulling over and cornering a woman pedestrian. A woman looking over her shoulder for a stalker lurking in the dark. These are the images that set up a crime scene. And why are they a screenwriter's opening note? Am I plugging my next film? No, not yet. That's at the end of my speech. Well, these images are all latent with impending violence against women. And that is where I wanted to begin. Because it is this awareness of feeling constantly unsafe and anxious is where I found my voice as a writer. When I began, I was 12 in Delhi in a journal. I saw justice up close, at home, in personal relationships. I experienced intense anger, which I couldn't express at 12 because I was a child. But the suppression became even more intense as I grew older because I realized I was a child growing into a woman. And that was bad news. I soon realized that what I was experiencing at a micro level at home was echoed in the world around me with even more heightened force. My socioeconomic limitations made me more vulnerable to the predatory nature of patriarchy. There were instances of being shagged in a DTC bus. There were instances of someone flashing at you. So you basically just like live your life around those experiences. And you realize that you are not safe in either personal or your social environments. Clearly, I mean, just and understandably, this made me seek justice. This made me seek balance. This also, I was told, made me a feminist. And I don't, at this stage, I don't really recall what came first. My anger or my writing. But clearly, I realized that my creative outbursts were cradled in this deep-seated consciousness or deep-seated awareness of just injustice, which the world adjudged as feminism, like it was a really bad word. So yes, feminism is angry, it's defiant, especially in its early stages. And as I grew older and loss and grief and vagaries of life taught me better, I realized that feminism is not only calling out patriarchy, that's its number one job. And definitely, it's not an exercise in being superior to men. But in fact, it is a lifelong commitment to balancing of power, and it is also healing. I realize that feminism is not always retaliatory, but it is also an exercise in equality, in empathy, and sensitivity. Feminism, thus, according to me, is default humanism. We are all feminists inherently. That's our home position. Now the question arises, why did my feminism/humanity become a threat to my livelihood and my creative pursuit as a screenwriter? Because mainstream is manstream. When I first began my career in 2008, 2009, soon after passing out from FTII, the stories that I brought to Bombay were largely found unsuitable to produce. And perhaps there was good reason for that, because perhaps it did not merit itself into a film, largely because of my poor craft, but also because they were all female-led. As a young artist, I was deeply confounded that Why are people saying that my stories are radical and rejecting them? Because actually, my stories were a cry for equality and humanity. I was really bewildered. I thought to myself, is asking for equality an act of dissent? And then it dawned on me, oh, yeah, in a world pivoted around male privilege, asking for equality is an act of dissent. I wasn't making it easy for myself, right? So, matlab, I hadn't even proved my craft, and I had already committed myself to not write regressive male content. I was walking into meeting rooms with the disclaimer that I would rather not write another regressive film and reinforce sexism in the world. I will not have this sexism ka dhappa on my head. But this ideology came with a price, because this decision made the work opportunities sparse, unlucrative, even boring. And very soon, in industry parlance, I became a difficult writer, which loosely translates into a situation where that no one will buy my screenplays because they are all female narratives, and the work opportunities that I will attract will be far and few in between. So locked in this conflict of my own making, I did not always know how to proceed forward. And since there was less work and almost no money, I was left with time, and a lot of time it was. And so I used it well to sharpen my skills, to deepen my understanding of my craft, and consolidate my feminine gaze, as it were, praying that one day things will change. This struggle wasn't rosy, though. Considering Mumbai with its steep cost of living doesn't let you ever become incognizant of its loud ticking clock, not even for a single second. Thankfully, the push and pull of these years saw two releases: Margarita with a Straw in 2015 and Waiting in 2016. Both gender sensitive, inclusive, and lending equality to the male female gaze. The release and success of these two films did two things. First, the industry quickly typecasted me as a lady writer and distanced the mainstream slash manstream even more fiercely from me. But the critical acclaim of the film, both the films, found my skills the much needed attention as a screenwriter and got me new allies. Cut to 2016. After I was roped in by director Meghna Gulzar to co-write her ambitious and difficult film on acid attack, we met acid survivor Lakshmi Agarwal for research to base the film on her life. In my interactions with Lakshmi, I realized I used to get goosebumps by Lakshmi's quiet heroism. Lakshmi was no victim. She didn't complain. She just found solutions. This sense of unquenchable humanity not only became the guiding light of our film Chhapak, now starring Deepika Padukone, playing Malti based on Lakshmi, but personally for me, a manifesto for what remains now of my life and my creative pursuits from here on. And it goes like this. Just like air, water, sunlight, Wi-Fi, gender sensitivity is a resource that the world needs. And I, its relentless warrior, will deliver it in ways major and minor, personal and professional, in craft, in politics, through vocabulary, art house, or mainstream, as long as I live, even if I suffer, and more so if I thrive. Be it my next film, Guilty, which releases on Netflix soon, which is about rape and Me Too, or my film Agra, which releases later this year, which is about male perversion, amongst other things. For now, this spirit of being difficult, and taking risks is thriving. So let's cut to my next chapter. Someone recently asked me, क्या आप मर्दों के साथ कभी नहीं लिखेंगी? And I found myself smiling because I'm currently co-writing a film about a man who's struggling with the burden of masculinity. This for me is an exercise, a subversive one, in liberating real men from their own myths and evening the keel of power in the favor of women and non-binary gender spectrum. And guess what? This film is mainstream and touted to be entertaining. So लड़ाई अभी जारी है दोस्तों. Before I leave the stage, I just wanted to say to whoever is interested that even after zero bank balance, broken relationships and friendships, and life-threatening autoimmune disorders later, here I am, alive, to tell my tale. I have nothing, and yet I have a small body of work I'm bloody proud of. And guess what? I did it my way.